Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by and welcome to our channel. My name is Steve, and we're going to do a short introductory flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's go ahead and get started. It's Cessna 152 Sierra Kilo. We are cleared for takeoff. Okay, welcome aboard, everybody. Once again, my name is Steve. We're inside the Cessna 52. Today, we're going to do a short little flight from November 4-3, which is Easton, Pennsylvania, Braden Air Park, over to 6-9 November, which is Slatington Airport over in Slatington, Pennsylvania. They're just outside the Class Charlie airspace of the Allentown Airport, Lehigh Valley International. So let's go ahead and get started and get the airplane started here and start taxiing out. So first thing that we want to do is we want to get a pushback from the pushback so we can get that guy out of the way here. So, alright, the pushback tug is activated. While he's doing that, I am going to set up a few things here. I am going to turn off the anti-stall. I'm going to turn on, I'll leave that one on. I'm going to turn off the radios, the AI piloting cursor I'm going to turn off. I'm going to turn off the landing ribbon and the taxi ribbon. Don't want those. And we will, okay, that looks good. Let's do an external camera to see the pushback, how that's going. And we probably should have the brake off so he can push us back better. So, and I think that's good enough. Okay, so let's go back inside the cockpit here. As I said, this is our first time using Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's an introductory flight for us, along with learning the Microsoft system. We are currently using a Xbox controller on a PC computer. We have got Microsoft set up to run in Ultra mode. We'll see how that works with this computer. Okay, we've got the masters on. We put the nav lights on, strobe lights on, beacon light on. We want to go down and select the fuel selector switch to on, or the engine will not start. Alright, mixture full in. Gotta give a couple little throttle just a little bit, give it a shot of primer. Probably don't need it here in this aircraft. In the well, you do in the actual aircraft, but simulator, I don't know. Alright, engine started, back to both. Okay, lights are on. Okay, ready to taxi, taxi light on, and parking brake is set. Engine instruments look like they're in the green. We got half fuel tanks. A little idling about 1,000 RPMs. Alright. Alright. Taxi tips. Okay. Get rid of this here. Alright, so let's turn our parking brake off and let's go start taxiing out to the airport, or to the runway. Again, like I said, I'm using an Xbox controller here. I do have some new control yoke, throttle quadrant pedals that I will be installing, and we'll have a video on that coming up. So the reason I picked this airport here, Easton, Pennsylvania, is this is the airport I learned to fly out of, or I took my first lesson out of, first couple lessons. That was actually in a Piper Tomahawk. We are going to fly over to Slatington, like I said, which is the airport where I actually did most of my training, did my solo flights, did all my cross countries out of that airport, and got my private pilot license out of that airport. So we went over there. We flew the 150 and then transitioned to a 172 for the cross countries, and I ended up getting my private in a 172. So the planning for this channel is to do a combination of things. What I'm going to start out with is just try to recreate some of the flight training flights that I did through my training, and eventually, as you saw through the introductory video part of the video here, some real world flying that I've done. I was flying, and I'm hoping to get back into, and if I do that, we'll have a combination of real world aircraft and some simulated flights here on Microsoft Flight Simulator. So okay, we are lined up for the runway, and just for the quickness of this video, I'm assuming I did the full checklist here. Let's go ahead and let's get our transponder turned on here. Just make sure, we'll just assume we made the control checks, which we can do real quick here. The ailerons are looking okay. Rudder, okay. So, alright. And we'll just, we did the mag checks and stuff on the engine. So let's hold our brakes. We're on a short field airport, so we're going to give 10 notches of flaps. We're going to give us our full power. On my brakes, full power is set, and releasing the brakes. Alright, maintain this center line here. I'm going to accelerate to about 55. 50, 55, we're gonna lift up, nose and nose, little, get accelerate 65, climb out. And we are gonna climb up to 2,500 feet. I am going to go ahead and bring our flaps up. We'll start our turn out on course here. Safe altitude, got plenty of fields here if we lose an engine. Let's go ahead and make our turn on course. Keep climbing up to 2,500. And Slatington is about 16 miles away, so and off to our left over there, the other little dot with the blue, that is the Lehigh Valley International Kilo Alpha Bravo Echo Airport. You can see the airport lights, the runway identification lights there flashing. But we're just going to do a flight here. No ATC today. Like I said, eventually what we're going to do is I'm going to hook up my control yokes, the other controls. We'll do most of our flying initially out of the Slatington Airport, since that's where most of my flights cross countries it originated from to start with. After that, we'll probably transition out west a little bit. So I did some flying out of Madison, Wisconsin, and back maybe to the eastern part of Pennsylvania, down south, and just do some random flights, then transition to different aircraft. Or we'll climb through 2,000. Going up to 25. Let's go up to 3,000. Let's go to 3,000 and let's do a stall in this airplane. Just for the fun of it. So we'll go up to 3,000 feet. So basically a stall is just when the wings start losing the lift and they just lose your lift off the aircraft. It's not an actual engine stall. It's an aerodynamic stall. To my own background, like I said, I've got currently hold a commercial multi-engine ratings instruments. Did some flying and a number of different general aviation single engine airplanes. My multi-engine was done at Weber Seminole. I had the opportunity to fly a couple turboprops and just minimal, some right seat time in a couple jets. The background that I currently work is in aircraft simulation, so I am familiar with aircraft simulations. I used to do some full motion simulator work. Have lots of time in multiple aircraft in the simulation world. And I have flown Microsoft Flight Simulator older versions in the past. This is the first time we've got the latest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, the 2020 version, the 40th anniversary edition. Alright, so we're here at 3,000 feet. I am slowing it down, get us into the flap extension speed range on the airspeed. So, I do not like the little joystick controller here. I'll be looking forward to getting the control yokes in and installed. Okay, got one notch of flaps in. Go ahead and get the second notch. I'm gonna do these at full flaps first. Sort of like a approach configuration to the airport. Okay, so we want to be at about 65 knots. 55 to 65 is the approach speed. So, okay, so we are coming down like we're coming in to land. And we bring the power back out. Okay, we're coming in to land. Pretend like we're coming in to land. Oh, we're gonna do a go around, full power, pull back. And we forget the flaps, we pull up too hard. There's the stall horn, and up. There we go. Release the control pressures, center the yoke. Yep. Okay, let's get us back on course. Get our flaps back up. So this time I'm going to... So that was interesting on that one. It rolled to the left on that one. So we got our full flaps in. Now this time I'm going to just pull the power out. And I'm just going to try to hold altitude. See what happens here. Just keep pulling back, trying to hold the altitude. Here's the horn. There's the stall. Just release the pressure, full power. Okay. Lost about 500 feet in that maneuver, but alright, so let's just continue on to the airport. Let's bring our flaps back up. Okay, flaps are up. We're cruise about 2400 RPMs. Slatington Airport is just south of that gap in the ridge up there. It is on the west side of the river that's up here. The river goes right through that gap, and we are going to be landing to the south. So we will be entering into a left crosswind or left downwind from our direction of flight here. The traffic pattern altitude there is going to be about 1,400 feet. So we're just going to continue on and just slowly descend down to that traffic pattern altitude. And if there was a way I can get rid of So that's one thing I gotta figure out, is I want to be able to eventually get rid of all these markers here. I don't want that. And currently I've got this set up on an easy mode for Microsoft Flight Simulator, since this is really first time flying this system, just trying to get used to the controls of the system, how to navigate through it. But we will be upping it up to more of a real world experience. You gotta say the graphics on this are pretty good. Actually, they are actually better than some of the level D simulators that I have been in, the visual systems for areas outside of a major airport that's used for the training. So I am really impressed with that. So eventually we're going to get into doing some instrument flying, so we'll do just, you know, some multiple instrument approaches in different weather conditions, different aircraft. Do some sightseeing flights over some areas, maybe do some of the flights that are pre-selected flights inside Microsoft Flight Simulator, some of the activity flights. Not quite sure what they're called specifically, but we'll do some of those. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Just smash the like button down there below, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to continue watching any future videos that we create. So in actuality, by this point here, we would have been contacting the airport here, tell them our position is uncontrolled field, tell them we're coming in for a landing. I believe the frequency for this airport is 122.9. Just saying, no, the Slatington traffic, the Cessna 152 Sierra Kilo, 1.5 miles to the east. It's going to be entering a 45-degree left downwind for runway 19 at Slatington. So we're going to start our turn in. Actually, we're paying attention to what I'm doing here on speed and altitude. So we're getting a little low on our pattern altitude here. So let's just go ahead and get that out. We're turning our 45. Turn into our downwind. Airport's over there to our left. Okay, on our downwind leg here, let's go ahead and get her start slowing up. About 1900 RPMs. Okay, we're in a white arc, and their speed, first notch of flaps. We're going to be targeting about, let's go ahead and, 75 will work good right now until we get onto our base to final. We're shooting for about, I think we'll do about 60. So I'm going to give us our second notch of flaps here, so we're using flaps 20. Coming over, I'm actually turned a little too soon, but get an idea where we're at. Okay, let's go ahead and keep turning into our final. And I am going to bring power back out some more, and our last notch of flaps. As we got. Okay, so there's the airport. As you can see, there is a tree in the system right there at the edge of the airport. On the left-hand side, it just sticks up. So let's keep it about 60. Coming down, we've got full flaps. Okay, we've got the airport killer power dropper in. Flare, flare, flare. Hold her off, touchdown. A little bit off to the side. And brakes. So when I got my private pilot license here at this airport, the runway was pretty much just a small paved strip down the left side here of the airport, and there was no taxiway. You basically took off on the hard surface and landed on the grass. So all my first solo flights were soft field landings. So welcome to Slatington, Pennsylvania, and I hope you enjoyed the flight. If you, again, like I said, if you want to keep up with the videos that we're going to post, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will hope to see you on the next flight that we do. Okay, as we come up here to the fuel pumps, getting ready to shut down. Once again, thanks for joining us on our short little introductory flight, and if you have any comments or suggestions, just please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.